Council meeting to order, December 16th, 7:00 PM at City Hall. I need a motion to amend the agenda to the pamphlet that you have in the folder you've got in your, ahead of you. Should be
is.
right there, that's it.
We have it on old business if you want to do it there. The sewer mains.
No, there's several
There's something
things here.
You don't need to amend it, that's just extra information. And
Okay.
like the sewer main stuff will be, it's already under old business.
Okay.
And then the rest are just like little stuff, for the Fifth Street project. Curtis is gonna ask you guys that is on the old business. And that's just your extra information, so.
Okay, I guess we don't need a.
Yep, we don't need
addition.
to
Anybody
amend.
got any additions to the agenda?
Do we need to move that executive session?
Yeah, since Greg's not here yet, we'll go on with the consent agenda, and then when he
Circle
gets here,
back.
we can, circle
When he
back.
comes in, you wanna put him in then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
We need a motion for that?
Where do you want to put it? Just want to put it in executive session?
Yeah, let's just move it to the very
Yeah.
bottom.
I'd make a motion to move the 30-minute
Hang
planning.
on. I heard the door open.
Oh, is he here? Okay.
There he is.
So Greg,
Hello. Okay.
I redact my motion.
Citizen comments? Any citizen comments? What?
Well, I don't have anything specific formal to say. I did ask to, be on the list at a point that I understood there to be something, that you were making, that there was a recommendation. I think I heard the word recommendation, and we have had a meeting, Greg and, the general manager of Nenasko and Port had a meeting, which I think was very congenial, very productive. I had understood there to be a second meeting, and when this came up, I thought, wait a minute, we haven't really come to any kind of recommendation through our discussions, but after talking with Greg today, I understand he's really, seeking your authorization to engage in some discussions that would lead to a recommendation. I'm just saying that I would like to be close. I mean, it's your decision, but I hope that we can talk in a way that, kind of is inclusive, and I can be involved in this, kind of from a perspective of, we've worked really hard to have kind of an environment where the combination of the rail infrastructure and the land create a favorable environment for business to locate here. But, we're talking with a company right now that I think is very, very interested. And the bottom line is they'll spend 3 times as much on electricity as they will a building. So an unfavorable electric rate compared to, a place where they are in Sedgwick County. They could choose to expand there as opposed to here if we don't paint the whole picture of a, a favorable business environment. So that's the reason I would like to, stay engaged. I, very much, I'm a citizen of here too. I want the city to have appropriate benefit out of this, but we just, I think, need to slice that in a way that is business friendly.
So is that just a statement, or is there a request in that? I'm not tracking with you.
Oh,
You say
just a
stay
request.
engaged to what extent? Just for my clarity, are you saying want to be in the executive session? Because that can't happen.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm saying
Okay.
if you give Greg authorization to, help develop that recommendation, I think that that's exactly where we landed from our conversation today, that we'll communicate through that, and I hope that that the perspectives of the board are taken strongly into account in making the recommendation ultimately to the council.
Okay.
Do you have, when you, the business that you're in talks with about coming to Stafford County, are they moving into the ground that is covered by Nenasko's electric rates, or are they moving into the ground that's covered by St. John's?
That's the issue. It's the, where we are talking with them about
Yes.
is the north, what I call the north parcel. So
Okay.
it's outside of the loop track. The kind of business that they will do is not unit train business. It's 6 lit rail cars a week, roughly. And the landscape that created this, initially we talked about having that north parcel be an environment where we did outdoor storage. So, it'd be the place where we do rock, transload, lumber, if we had wind turbines, which is not the likely thing for us to have here, but that kind of thing where it's outdoors was kind of where we slated that north parcel. It kind of simplified this whole thing of where electric territory boundaries are. The type of business they are will fit most into where we have manifest business. It's not that loop track, and it's the parcel to the east of where we're currently constructing. And the time frame for getting that piece built out is probably in reality another 2 years. So we know that the opportunity is not gonna be ripe at that point, the way it is now, similar to the way it was with the grain landscape. The grain landscape was ripe in 2018 when we were kind of first laying a lot of this groundwork, and it's not today. So to similarly not kind of have our timing off, we're trying to come up with a way to accommodate that business in 2026. And, so I don't think this is where we're gonna land. We kind of talked today through the idea that there's like maybe 5 different options. Option 1 is basically, hey, our rates are what they are, you have to pay it, and it's 16.5 cents a kilowatt. I doubt that it would materialize. It would either not materialize on that parcel, and we'd have to figure out something on the south parcel. That's probably really not, I don't know.
Is
You know what I'm
Greg
saying?
familiar with what your rates are from Nenaska for your commercial customers?
We don't have firm rates from Nenaska.
Okay.
I have a sense of how they would approach it, but they're not necessarily willing to put a sign out front, especially in this context right now, what their rates are. What I can say is that I have been quoted rates what they already pay at Evergy, and that's kind of a benchmark.
You're over your 3 minutes, Carol.
Okay, so
Let's move
I-
on. If we need to, we haven't talked to Greg about this. so
Yeah.
I think we need to move on.
I just want to say thanks
Fair
for your input, but our point was just to get information from Greg, and we have no idea what we're going to get into, but we did hear what you said, and thank you for coming.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Carol.
Thanks, Carolyn.
I entertain a motion to go into executive session with Greg.
I make a motion to go into executive session for 30 minutes to discuss a competitive matter to include council and mayor. Do we have alternate council?
Yes, Brandon's here.
What's his firm, or who is he?
Do you remember his name? I just remember his name.
Brandon Richa, to discuss competitive matter to return,
And Curtis.
and Curtis and
And Danny.
clerk, not Danny.
No, I think no.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot.
To return at 7:38.
Second.
Motion on the table by Aaron Gleason, second by Aaron Raines. Any more discussion from council? We're gonna recess into executive session for 30 minutes, be back at 7:38. We're in executive session.
You have to vote it.
All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. All right.
Okay, you did that out of
Hey,
session.
Greg, do you want to come sit here so the
We
attorney
did
can hear you?
Call
Okay.
council meeting back to order. We didn't get a vote.
We can do it again.
Motion made by Aaron Gleason to go into executive session to discuss with Greg Wright
With
on a decision.
Yep, Greg Wright, Brett,
Brandon.
Brandon.
Yep.
Sorry, with Brandon,
Greg
clerk,
Wright.
mayor, council, and electric supervisor to return at 7:38.
I second it.
And seconded by Aaron Raines.
Then all
Any more discussion from council? All in favor? All opposed? It passes 4-0. Show that Kyle Bunker's not present. Out of executive session into regular council meeting.
You can sit there. Do you need water or anything?
Nope.
Entertain a motion.
I make a motion to continue the executive session for 15 more minutes to discuss the competitive matter to include council, mayor, Greg, Brandon, city clerk, and electric supervisor to return at 7:54.
8 o'clock.
Got a motion on the table by Aaron Gleason, I hear a second. Second by Aaron Raines, go into executive session
No,
to
we gotta go.
continue. All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Call regular council meeting back to order. We had to go out of executive session, now back in.
Oh, okay. I thought you already had done it.
Any more discussion on the executive session?
Nope.
Okay, moving on. Consent agenda, entertain a motion to approve minutes of regular council meeting December 2nd, 2025.
Make a motion to approve regular council meeting minutes December 2nd, 2025.
Motion on the table by
Thank you,
Mark,
Safe
thanks Greg,
Second.
second by Aaron Gleason, Aaron Raines. Any more discussion, all in favor? Passes 4-0. Entertain a motion for appropriation orders 121-625 AP $46,945.42.
Make a motion to approve appropriation ordinance number 121-625 AP in the amount of $46,945.42.
Motion on the table here, second.
Second.
Second by Aaron Gleason, motion by Mark Bryant. Any more discussion? By Aaron Raines.
No.
All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Brings us to department heads, electric department. Curtis, you got anything?
Only thing I got is I'd like your guys' permission to purchase some triplex service wire. There's 2 bids, one for Stanley's, one from Wesco's. Wesco's substantially cheaper.
Same stuff.
Yep.
Make a motion to accept bid from Wesco for triplex wire in the amount of $3,417.75.
Second.
Motion on the table by Aaron Gleason, second by Aaron Raines. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Anything else, Curtis?
That'll work.
Okay. Water sewer department, Jason White.
Well, I don't have anything.
Council got any questions for Jason?
Nope.
About the streets? Nothing?
Nothing.
Moving on. Police chief, Mike.
The only thing I got's later on the list, I think.
Okay. Fire chief, Mike. Nope. Any questions for Mike on the fire department? City clerk, Pam.
I don't have anything except if you guys have questions for me, I pretty much put everything on a report. Most of everything are under old business. I had some time to get stuff for you guys, so we'll have some decision to make on the agenda.
Okay. Lights look good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You guys
we
did
Tell your
great.
guys they did a good
Yep,
job.
You guys did great.
Moving on, nothing for Pam from council. City attorney, you have anything for us?
I don't think I have a whole lot. I didn't get Mr. Wynn's call, so I'll do that before the next meeting.
That should be an
Council got any questions for Danny?
He's been good when I've talked to him.
Good.
Just-
Glad to hear that.
Yeah. Just gotta set aside half an hour for
Moving
his
on,
money.
under old business, 5th Street Road by White's.
I sent an email update to you guys. I don't know if y'all have read, but the 5th Street should be open after Christmas. That's when we scheduled to open it.
This year.
This year, yes.
Okay.
Yep, right after after Christmas.
Okay.
So I'm not sure about Santa Fe, so they still have to do a little bit of stuff, but
Okay.
I saw there was a note about 2 drives to cut.
Yeah.
Is one of those the alley between the church and Napa?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that was not cut.
Yeah. I don't know what their plan are. They cut some and then they move to the other side and they're like, it's kind of like ping ponging. Like, I don't know what their plan is. But
Okay.
Okay.
Looks like they're gonna extend them gutters. on the East Highway up there, to the tune of like $12,000, it's new one. I just
So,
looked at this here.
yeah, so what he's saying is that if we opt to have that concrete, that's how much it will cost us extra.
Okay.
So,
Of what concrete?
to have the drain that they dug from each side of 5th Street by 281.
I thought did I see concrete?
Not all the
A
way.
little bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just to where it led into a trench.
Right.
And they obviously gonna plant some grass and stuff there, but there was some concern of erosion over time. So I have talked to the engineer and see what our option would be as far as concrete that in so it lasted and we don't have to worry about drainage.
Was the way they have it now part of that original plan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they've done what?
What's the
Was on the
concern
plan.
on erosion? That
It will wash down, like it will wash off, like the
So
bank
they'd
will just
want it-
keep getting bigger over time, like.
Yeah, I
Just
think
due
it
to rain.
really needs, probably have a concrete tunnel there or something. Honestly,
I mean, that's our option, and you don't have
3 or
to.
4 foot wide and tapered up the sides a little bit or something, because there's gonna be a lot of water probably go through there. And it goes on both sides of the street. I looked it over. In fact, I visited with Pam when I first saw it, cause it wouldn't drain. And
Right.
They put this
it
short
must go
piece of-
uphill there because it pools in front of White's right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yes,
Exactly.
yeah,
Did
they're
they get
gonna
that
That's
straightened
not
out?
They're gonna fix that.
I was gonna say that's
Yeah.
the concrete down into the ditch isn't gonna help that. 'Cause
No,
it
no,
goes
they're
uphill
they're
right
gonna.
there.
There's a somewhere in here. They're gonna
Cut.
fix it to where it's higher to drain to 281. So
Needs to be lower.
no, the
Oh,
the
driveway.
entrance in
Okay.
front
The
of
entrance
White's,
at White's is
not
the high
the
point right now.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
it just
Yeah.
sits there.
Right. Yeah. They'll grind the concrete down to where it sloped down to that drain so it drained. That's their plan. So.
So that's just gonna be a ditch there now.
Huh?
Isn't there city pool?
We finally got that done, huh?
Okay.
Well, on that note,
Is
I
that
must be missing that email. Did you email it to us? in a
Yeah,
separate deal?
I
Which
emailed
one
it this
is it?
morning, but you can read.
Oh, I
read
didn't
through
work.
this.
Sorry about that.
since that's not part of the scope of this project? I mean,
This is,
should we get some bids for that?
We can.
I mean,
yeah,
That's up to council.
get a couple bids, get Mansell, see if it's any cheaper.
we can.
But I think you probably better put some concrete out there. It's just gonna wash that.
I guess the
Right.
only risk there is then they blame that concrete pour was what's causing issues further down the line, but I don't.
be nice to get a nice rain to see.
Well,
it
I
would.
told Jason that we're gonna fill the back truck up and go
Oh.
dump water in there to
Yeah,
see if it will
good
drain
idea.
once it's done. I mean, we have the capability of doing it.
Yeah, I
They
think we
don't like
need,
that idea, but.
I think we should do that before we continue talking.
I'll just open the fire hydrant.
Okay, what's next, Pam?
Fountain, anybody wanna talk about that?
I don't.
No.
Nothing.
Moving on, water well testing.
So Ned gave you guys some recommendation lists. I know there was a lot of information that presented to you guys at the last meeting. Obviously, all of this need to be done at some point, but we might need to prioritize what needed done the most and get that going. And then kind of come up with a contingent plans of getting all of this done over time.
Yeah.
When you say that, how much overtime, what's overtime, what's the span? 6 months?
It's gonna be at least over a year. There's no, I mean, there's outside contractor involved, so that's gonna take some time getting on their schedule. Getting the new well or permission and that kind of stuff. That will take time. I would say over 2 years at least.
It's gonna be a pretty expensive project.
Yeah, it's gonna be a.
What's pretty
lengthy-
expensive mean?
I don't know.
Okay. I think we need to get started on it.
I think we
mean-
got, I don't know, I talked to Ned a little bit, maybe we need to see about the iron and the lines. Jason, is on the west end of town where that iron is out there on 2nd Street, is there a blank valve at the end of that line?
2nd Street. Okay, how far out? All the way to the end?
All the way to the end.
tees there and splits out and then goes on out and then comes back around and then meets up at well 6 on 3rd Street.
Is there any valve there that can open at the end of that flow, at the very end of the line? Is there a fire hydrant or anything out there? There isn't, is
On
there?
3rd,
3rd Street?
yes.
Okay, is that the end of the line connected to 2nd?
I don't have my phone. I could find. I don't.
We
think
need
so.
to- we
I
need to
think it's
drain that.
looped there. Isn't it?
I don't
Is
think
it
there- I
loop?
don't think there's one that's-
I don't think there's one at 2nd. There's not a fire hydrant at the end of 2nd. No. I think it's looped on 3rd that goes around 4th and then comes back to 2nd and then loops around from 1st back over to 3rd
Okay.
and then meets up at well 6 and then breaks
Yeah.
back off from there and goes to 4th.
Where would you start? How far would you go?
I would try to get the iron taken care of. That would be
We
my
got, if we
first
can't
on the
get the
list,
iron, we gotta have at the end of the,
because it's affecting
the end of the
nitrate
lines,
and we don't want
something to
that.
open that we can get it out of. Cause if we get it on the fire hydrant a block away, you got a block of there that you're not getting the
Right.
line.
I got you.
Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And we may have to put a valve in there to open that up. Where we can get it, everything out,
Right.
out of the line. Does council understand what I'm saying?
I am. And I appreciate it. I'm really not tracking with you. I just want to go down on the list and see, okay, let's start with the first item. It looks like we go after these samples are collected. So, okay, so go down to the testing until getting the samples and send them out. I mean, that's what I'm reading here.
Yeah.
And we can't, there's no way we're gonna know the costs until we get into it. So how much money do we have to work on this? I mean, it's sort of like we need to do it and we don't know how much it's gonna be.
Sure, we have about 500,000 saved up for water projects, from Capital Improvement Water Fund. That could be used on those water projects.
I guess this is how I would do it if I had the money. Let's get started, let us know when we get to 100,000. Or whatever, whatever the costs you think these are gonna be. I have no idea.
As far as testing go,
Yeah, just going down to, the sample should be collected at, iron is getting past the bag. A sample should be collected at the flush.
samples,
or is this hydrant?
something that Ned has
No, Ned has to do these. He has-
Okay.
Yeah.
We did a lot of talking about needing to start looking for a new supply. And none of that is covered in this
No.
suggestions.
Correct. This
So-
is,
I'm off, if we need to start doing this to get the iron bacteria taken care of, then we need to do that. But I also don't wanna spend $500,000 trying to fix wells that we may be needing to just take those water rights to a new well. Like, I don't wanna spend $100,000 on a well, getting something cleaned up, and then transfer that water right to a brand new well, and need that money for the new well and system and pipeline to get the well into our system. But I think either way, the iron bacteria is there, so that's gonna have to be addressed, whether we have a new well or not.
So what you're saying is that let's address the iron bacteria right now. Do whatever we have to do to address that problem, and at the same time look for, we talked about the new area for the well. At the same time, look at that and maybe try to get try to sample that water if it's good, and try to move the water right. Is that kind of like what you're hinting at?
Okay, are you talking about starting at the existing wells? Because the iron is coming through either out of the well or the pipeline before it gets to the nitrate plant, and then when it goes through the plant, then it's going out into our system, and the iron bacteria is collected in the system.
They're coming from the wells,
Mhm.
going to the nitrate plant, from the nitrate plant into the system, and then that's what he's talking about. And I need to talk to Ned, but in my perspective, what I would think need to be done is to sit there and try to find if what Aaron's trying to talk about is trying to find like a problem with the wells, get a well problem fixed out, but I don't know that I would spend the money on getting the lines cleaned up first, because then if you do that and we don't get the problems with the wells fixed, you're still pumping the iron from the wells
That's exactly right.
into the lines after you just cleaned them.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
So
what
I
I'm
would
gonna
sit
say,
there
where
and
we
start
gonna
working
start
on
it?
I would start trying to find the well problems, get that fixed, and then start trying to get your iron fixed, cleaned in the lines after you got your clean watered wells done.
And then if
And
you
then
can't,
clean your lines and get your iron out of the system.
What
Out
do
of-
you
out of your
mean
line.
by cleaning the well? Are you talking about?
Well, either like he said, either find a new wells, get your pump, or try to find a new well out here, or wherever Ned was talking about trying to get a new one located, or something, whatever Ned was referring to, like out by the overpass, or wherever he was talking about. I would get that going first, and then get your water rights moved. And then either build a new well or whatever, and then move well 6 or 3 or whatever he was referring to. Because if we go in and clean these lines first and get the iron bacteria out of those lines, and you're still pumping in that iron, and then you're still, all you're doing is recoating those lines that you just cleaned while you're getting the wells moved. Then you're just getting the iron bacteria right back into what you just cleaned while you're working on your wells.
Well,
Does that make sense?
that makes sense. What I was going after is this letter. Did you read it?
I haven't had time to read
Oh,
what
okay.
Ned said.
Well,
yet.
the first paragraph said, modified from 20 May 2025 proposal. Below are suggestions to potentially alleviate some of the bacteria and iron issues within the water system. Then he goes into a bunch of things he would suggest to do first. And on the back, he says the goal is to collect enough data to prepare the city staff to provide the information needed to maximize the efficiency of the system and reduce the water quality issues. Because he's saying here it's possible to chlorinate the system, and he goes into some things there. So I think he was trying to save money.
He suggests taking 10 samples and he prescribes where each sample comes from and how to take the samples. And then, based on the information we see in those samples, how much bacteria is in each place on the water system,
Mhm.
then he suggests that it would be possible to chlorinate the system up to the plant. But then water that goes to the vessels has to be dechlorinated first, which would require retrofitting the well houses and reinstalling chlorinators back into system at
right.
each point of entry for wells 3, 5, and 6. And then, so I think his suggestion is we see where the bacteria is, and then we systematically chlorinate the system to kill the bacteria. And then maybe that alleviates the issue for a while. And then he says he says if this produces good results, we can schedule routine chlorinating flushes to help plant efficiency.
Okay.
So
Well,
it wouldn't
I think
actually
that-
eliminate the problem, but it would reduce the problem.
Well, we maybe find a well.
Right.
So it may be worth taking these 10 samples.
Right.
That he
Well, let me
suggests.
print that out, and I will sit there and go hunt him up, and then I'll talk to him
You
about
can
it,
have my copy.
and then make sure that.
So so we're back at. I guess you know my opinion. I say we
Take
need
the
to get
samples.
started on it.
We'll take samples.
the
And
only thing
whatever it
about
costs, it costs.
Aaron, if we go look for a new well, you have to drill some test wells around an area, and you wrap up $100,000 just for
Yeah,
nothing.
I mean, I don't understand the process. I just want the process to get started.
And it sounded like from Ned too, if you do find a new spot for a well, it's a decent chunk of ground around it that you wanna have control of too.
Table it, or what do you wanna do?
It's under old business, so we'll keep it under old business. We'll start taking samples and we'll go from there.
Okay.
We'll start taking some.
Samples that you have, you get the
Any other thing on the water wells? Moving on. Port Authority, you got any discussion on that? We talked about it earlier.
You talked about it.
Okay, extension of sewer and the water mains on West Street.
So I submitted to you guys the cost of, bringing the line from the manhole in the alley to West Street. That's kind of like an estimated cost. Obviously, it could go a little less, a little more, depending on what they're gonna run into. I estimated a little higher, just to kind of give us a little more room. If you guys are okay with this figure, we will go ahead and start that, have the engineer starting project. The other engineering company that Bob talked to submitted this afternoon. It's in your packet, so obviously you can read through it. You don't have to make this decision about this tonight since we got this information late. So read through his proposal, and if you want, we can discuss it at the next meeting and see.
Are they comparing, just briefly, is it comparing apples to apples?
So this plan right here, it's bringing the manhole from West First, like the original plan. I have talked to him and I told him not to worry about that and just get me the proposal from the manhole in the alley to West Street, but I think there was a miscommunication
Okay.
somewhere to where he did not submit that bid, so this is not apple to apple.
Okay. We'll just wait for that. But it's
Yeah,
old business, I guess.
Where's do I have the on that original coming to the West Street? I guess not.
huh? What?
I can do these things.
So you can do, okay, so these samples right here, Jason can do,
Okay.
so that would save money.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we'll get that, but,
Did
I
you
guess
answer Bob's
your
Where's the
your total
original
estimate
First one. What was it?
this one,
is if we do the work, right?
correct,
Yeah, and this is if we contract it out. That's all.
correct, yeah.
I guess the only question we would need is rates or a bid from CES and EDH on
Just
the
the
design,
engineer, yeah,
design permitting and observation.
So the observation cost for them, I thought they submitted
This one?
that's from E EDH,
Staking was 2,500 and observation was 3,500 on CES.
yeah.
Where's design?
The design and survey is $4,200. The
That's
survey is
design, so
4,200.
Engineering design is 15,000.
Yeah, the design is 15,000. And the design on EDH is,
Design engineering, they have the
5,000.
standard rate.
yeah. Yep. So yes, I will ask them just to submit the proposal for just the survey design and the observation cost, which I have done that for my.
What
original
observation
email.
is required for KDHE? Because I mean, generally the observation is like you're making sure the contractor is doing the work that he promised.
Right.
When the contractor is in-house, is it required from KDHE to have a third-party inspector or?
That I don't know. I'll find out.
It wouldn't surprise me if KDHE requires a third-party inspector for a sewage project.
I could see them require like the final inspection before you cover the hole probably, but I don't know what the whole process needed to be monitored like the entire time.
Yeah, I'd just get clarification on what's needed if we're gonna do the work in-house.
Okay.
Because generally that observation is you're hiring a contractor, so you're hiring an engineering firm to make sure that contractor's doing the work that they promised. So,
Anything else on the sewer and water mains on West Street? If not, we'll move on.
the only other piece on that was Midwest were they gonna give us a certain amount to do those improvements, or cause they kinda alluded to that when they were here. Where are we at on that, I guess?
So they're willing to help, but I am not sure if it's right for us to ask, because I feel like it's our duty to provide those services to the businesses and the residents. You know, even like that's still within our city limits, and we do serve the buildings all around it. And if the cost is gonna be about 30, 35, maybe under 50, that's something that the city can handle. And I mean, that's just my opinion. You guys, you know, take it for what it's worth, but I don't feel right asking them to contribute. So.
No, I didn't know that. So if that's our standard protocol, then that's what we do. And if they want to do something, it's on them. I mean, that's one option.
Yeah, like I said, the project doesn't cost, you know, an arm and a leg, so we can handle that. And I mean, that's another business coming into town will benefiting from it, you know, in the long-term plan. So I think we should just bite the bullet and do
Stick
it.
with the way we do it.
Just make it fair for everybody.
Okay.
I mean, we didn't charge the grocery store to bring the sewer line across the highway or in the water line across the highway when the grocery store was built, so.
Okay. How do you guys feel about it? Aaron?
I mean, I could go either way. I think it's
Yeah.
the duty of the city, but it's also incurs cost on the rest of the rate base, right? Because it's split between everybody then. And it's good to have another business in town. Some of it will get generated back in property tax and usage, but they're not gonna use a lot either, so I don't know. The payoff's probably a long time for even 30,000.
It is, but,
So it's,
you know, that's part of being a city.
Maybe they'll get involved with the city on our
Maybe they'll
events.
donate to our Jubilee.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'll hit them hard. Alright,
Anything
Okay.
else, Aaron?
Moving on. KPF and Keepers Plan.
so attached to your package is the cost comparison between the Capers and the KP&F plan. I have got good feedbacks for those cities that converge. So their officers pretty happy with it. There is evidence shows that it's helped with the hiring and the retaining of officers. So I did find out today that there has to be a study if we were to switch to see, you know, like how many officers we have, options of where, like if the officer has, or the city has the option to sign up for KP&F and have the starting date be, you know, like January 1st of 27, and whatever the capers accumulations that they're already accumulated throughout, you know, the years that they've been with the city, we can convert that depending on, like, if, let's say Mike has 5 years of capers under his belt, we can carry all of that over to KP&F, but we're gonna have to pay the difference of the rate. And sometime if, like, let's say if Mike had 15 years, that could be very costly to the city. So what we can do is that start the KP&F plan January 1 of 27 and don't convert the caper. Leave the caper alone. If they vest it, then it'll just keep accumulating interest. And when they retire, they can draw out both capers and KP&F. your other options is, like, we only have 2 officers right now. If, you know, Greg, I believe, have more years in capers than Mike would, so to convert that, caper over might be a bit more than what we want to spend. But that's totally up to you guys.
You would only convert it to years that he intends with the city.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do. I mean, why would you pay for somebody else's years of service?
I don't think you can break it down, because if you look through the capers, it doesn't matter if you have 3 years with the prison, 3 years at the courthouse, and 3 years with us, it's all around sum in one. And then you have one total,
Okay.
yeah. So,
So you said there's a study. What's the study?
So they're gonna do a evaluation of how many officers we have, how many year of capers they have accumulated, and then, they
So
will,
we would know.
yeah,
Okay.
and we would know how much it will cost and stuff like that.
Can you, if we choose to go this route, but we don't want to pay the back years, does capers allow individual employees, like, let's say, we say no to Mike, but Mike's willing to send capers a $30,000 check for his back dues, or whatever it would be for his years of service to be on Power and Light, on police and fire. Do they have an option for the employee to take that on themselves?
I think it's both, because it's an employer-employee
Yeah, 'cause
separate cost.
the employer are responsible for some portion of it, and like, you know, cause with caper, right now with the city, we put in 6%, the employee put in 6%, so, I'll ask.
It's under benefit formula
Yeah,
right there.
I don't know if I don't think you can, but I'll ask.
I guess we just
Because I
need
was
more
thinking they allowed
information.
you to buy, like if you're close to retirement, I was thinking capers allowed you to buy years of service. So that, you know, if you're 1 or 2 years away from a retirement that knocks you up a new benefit,
Yeah.
rather than doing another year, giving them cash to pay for your year of service. I thought they allowed something like that.
Yeah, I'll ask.
Maybe I'm wrong, I could be completely wrong. I know very little about capers, but I thought I'd heard that somewhere that they would allow something like that.
I'll ask.
Well, beside these concerns, how do you guys feel about the switch?
Have you asked the listserv about other cities, about our size? Is it, I mean, who does it, who doesn't? I mean,
So Stafford's looking into it. I know Northwest of here, I can't remember the city right now. They're a little bit bigger than us. They already switched, but
Oh,
most
okay.
city are like medium size. They're all switched and they're all happy with it. So
Well, we need more information. My first thought when reading about this is it's gonna help us in the hiring. It all, the way I look at it, depends if we want a police department. Because eventually these guys are gonna go somewhere else, they're not gonna wanna work here. So if it's a hiring benefit, it's gonna cost us a little bit more, but let's try to save the police department. And then if we can't retain people with this new program, then we look for different options. Otherwise we're gonna sort of stay in this boat. That's just my opinion, take it for what it's worth.
yeah, I mean, you guys can make the decision to switch right now, and then before we sign a contract, we'll see the study of, like how much everything will be, how much, if we want to convert the old caper into the new plan, you'll have all that information and, to make the decision. Like, you don't have to do it, you can say, okay, KP&F going to start January 1st of 2027, and we're gonna start new. Whatever caper you have, you can keep accumulating, and then you can draw when you're retired at 55 or whatever with the new plan. I would like to get this, if you ask me, I would go ahead and pass this so we can get the process going. And then we can start advertising that, hey, we're gonna be on KP&F plan. So that's where we can start advertising and maybe try to get officers in. So,
it's It's more than double the cost. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not necessarily opposed to it, it's just, it's not nothing.
yeah, it's not, but I don't know what else to do to try to get more officers, especially for out town.
Well, can you get this information we need by January, and then we can talk about going further, I mean, our next meeting in January, and then talk about,
Cause we have
The
till October now,
advertising
cause
thing.
this one's passed, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah. I'll get some numbers, more numbers as far as conversion goes, and then to answer
'Cause I
your
was just-
question.
like, if I was a policeman and I said, okay, well, I got two different retirement systems, I don't know how I would like that,
I mean,
you know? I would be like, I got, this one has these rules and this new one has these rules. So I'm,
KP&F, it takes 15 years to get vested versus 5 years in
right,
capers.
that's,
okay,
So until you hit the 15, and I think you can retire at 20 years minimum on KP&F
okay,
versus capers. I think they do the point system deal, correct?
yeah, I read something
Yeah.
like that. That's just what I was thinking about. Like,
Yeah.
I'd like to see what it would cost us to switch it over.
switch capers over.
I mean, as far as, instead of saying, well, you can stay here with this and then under our plan, but you have to keep your old plan. I just think, and I would be like, I think I'll go look somewhere else. I'd rather just keep it all together. That's just me.
Okay.
And if it's, I mean, it's just investment we take. I mean, we hope police officers stay here, but the reality is they're not going to. They're gonna rotate. We just have to get that mindset. Either we're a training facility or we treat them so well, they're gonna stay. You know?
I think that we all want the latter of that. Whatever information that we can get on this.
yeah, I
greatly
think we
appreciate
need,
it.
we need information on that, on buying out previous years, what it would cost, and also the logistics of how that happens. What are the options? Do we only do it for current employees? Are we required to go back further than just current employees? I mean, is there ramifications there? Like, are we gonna have to go back, you know, and grab Tori and Patrick and pay those years out if we do Mike and Greg's?
I don't think so.
They're not-
I would
because they're
think
not
so.
employed
No,
with
I
us.
would be
But-
just the current employee, full-time employee.
I don't know, Aaron. We'll have to find out. I didn't mean to jump on that. That was just my first thought. Enough on that.
Okay,
I lost
moving
my
on.
train of thought.
Find out the particulars in general.
Code of conduct.
Alright, so that's just the standard code of conduct that the CDBG grant needed us to have. I put it in my report that we have the copy, but I cannot find the signed copy anywhere. And it was around 2005 when it was passed. I even went to look for the minutes of that meeting, but the minutes was so vague that there was no motion passing that code of conduct. So
We need
to
to
be,
do it.
So this is the
yes.
same wording
Huh?
as the 2000, this is the same as it was in 2005?
No, this is
This is
the CDVG version that I converted and changed some stuff.
Did you look at it?
I did. I didn't get an answer to Pam. The only thing that I saw that kind of, and I don't really think it's an issue, on page 3, and it would be subsection E, II. For the most part, this matched up with the statements of substantial interest that everybody files. On that subsection, basically says if you, under this policy, consider a conflict of interest, if what you receive, salary, gratuity, whatever, is $1,000 or higher. On the statement of substantial interest form, it's $2,000. So I don't know if it makes sense to sync that up to where you're not
Yeah, I would make
setting
it the
two
same.
different
Yeah.
standards.
I'd make it the
But I
same.
think that was the only thing that I noticed that, yeah.
Okay.
We
If,
could make a motion as amended, right?
yeah, that's amended.
I'd make a motion that we pass the code of conduct for the city of St. John, Kansas, as amended in section 5, subsection EII, changing $1,000 or more to $2,000 or more.
Second.
Got a motion on the table by Aaron Gleason and a second by Aaron Raines. Any more discussion on the code of conduct? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Moves us on down to vehicle purchase for the street and park department.
So, if you have additional question regarding the old vehicle or the new vehicle, ask the other two, cause I have no idea.
You guys know what you need. Are there concerns that it's rear-wheel drive?
No, the other one is.
Okay. And that's pretty high mileage, so I guess my
That's
other
my
concern would be,
concern.
we spent $7,000 over 2 years on the last one, or are we taking on a risk of having
Well,
similar
we talked
repairs?
about that too. And it's just the other one is just, I mean, it's a 96.
I've seen it drive around. I'm not opposed to replacing it. I'm just
Yeah,
questioning.
well, we talked about that too, and I don't know. I mean, the other one's nickel and diming us too, and I just,
Well, you can't buy a pre-owned truck and not expect issues.
that's what we thought too.
So-
I mean, I just,
If this $17,000 investment is, you think you can work with it, then
and then,
let's give it a try.
and then that Curtis and Les went down, and I'll turn it over to him on that part of it.
Truck wise, it's pretty sound, pretty nice. I mean, the seat ain't even broke down, but it's been a lot of, highway miles. It was a service truck.
I'll say that's a lot of miles for 6 years.
We stopped to look at one on the way back, and it was newer, had more miles, and they wanted quite a bit more.
Yeah.
Actually, twice miles.
Yeah, you guys can do what you want. Those are my questions.
Are the boxes rust free?
No, there's some surface rust on it.
Is it?
Nothing we can't fix.
Did that blue truck have a crane on it?
It's just a small one.
Just a little hand crank.
Just a little,
Yeah.
little hand crank.
So you're not missing it necessarily. It
No,
was-
Still,
no.
got Tommy whipped on it.
Yeah, I saw it
Yeah,
at the Tommy
yeah.
gate. Yeah. I mean,
No.
it's your guys' apartment. I'm fine with it if that's the one that you like.
Somebody
Well,
else?
I'd like to try it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd make a.
Okay.
Is it taxable?
No, it's in the, general fund, so,
So it's just the price is the price is.
yes, unless, is there a, cause it's gonna be for the street and park department, so I'm assuming it's tax exempt. But is there, I don't know anything about dealership, like costs or anything.
Well,
Is this at a dealership? Yes.
Yeah, it's TNT Auto,
Where's that at?
Coldwater.
Coldwater.
I think you pay, I would imagine they have, well, you're paying it cash, so you're not gonna have any
Finance charge.
finance charge.
You'll have sales tax. You put a regular tag on it, or you just put them in?
No,
the
tax
No,
exempt.
it'll be tax
They,
exempt.
they might have like a lot of dealers have a paperwork fee or whatever. I don't know if they.
Well, if that's the case, it will fall under the 2,000 spending limit of the department head, so I think we should be okay approving at that price.
I'd make a motion to purchase 2019 GMC Sierra 2500 HD for the street and water department in the amount of $16,999.
Motion on the table, do I hear a second?
Okay.
Motion by Aaron Gleason, second by Mark Bryant. Any more discussion from council? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Go get your pickup.
Who's gonna drive the silver one?
Wouldn't it?
I thought, are you gonna take this one? Who's taking the silver one?
The blue one's the one we're replacing.
No, I know. Who's taking the silver one?
Well, that'll be right where it is.
No, I'm just giving
It's
it.
fine.
Moving on, new business, Blue Cross Blue Shield renewal.
It's just our annual renewal for our health insurance. I just need permission to sign the contract, so,
Nothing's changed.
no, I mean, the price went up as expected,
How much did it go up?
3%.
Is there a number on it or something to reference or just?
I can
Contract.
get you the number.
I don't.
It has like personal information on it, that's why I didn't wanna submit it to your packet, but
And it's with Freedom Claims, right? Or it's specific to Blue Cross?
this one is specific to Blue Cross, and then the Freedom Claim is another contract
Okay.
that need to be approved.
I'd make a motion to approve the renewal of the Blue Cross Blue Shield, healthcare renewal.
Motion on the table by Aaron Gleason.
Second.
Second. Second by Mark Bryant. Any more discussion, council? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Freedom Claim Management renewal.
So
Same
this-
deal.
Yep, this is the third company that we use to, help us with the health insurance and,
Have you had good luck with them?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is
we're-
our first year in it, man. 2 years now.
Have we had any issues with people filing it and it having to come from two, like,
Not that I have
payouts?
heard. When we first started, getting used to it was a little bit, but once they're used to it, the process is pretty easy.
Okay.
Yeah. We had actually quite a bit saved up in our saving accounts, which I'm super happy with.
yeah, that's the whole purpose, right?
Yes, yeah.
I'd make a motion to renew, contract with Freedom Claims Management as a third-party management of the healthcare savings accounts.
Got a motion on the table by Aaron Gleason. Do I hear a
Second.
second? Second
Second.
by Aaron Raines. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Got anything else you wanna talk about?
I make a motion to adjourn.
You don't have any?
No, we'll be-
Oh, this is.
I make a motion to adjourn regular council meeting, December 16th, 2025.
Second.
Got a motion on the table by Aaron Gleason to adjourn and second by Aaron Raines. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Council meeting is over.